and breathe. Sheffield Wednesday have won 3 competitive games on the bounce, baby. Fuck yeah. What? Right, we've got a lot to talk about, so we're just going to get into it. First half, right, let me get started here. I need to take glasses off, this is getting serious. First half was a fucking joke, right? I'm not going to sit here and complain too much because I think, we've come away with the 3 points, that's all that matters, and I'm actually really surprised we did. So let's just get into it. So, yeah, first half was poor. First half was so bad. Obviously, it started off with Onyango going off after about 13 minutes or so. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, Onyango went off after like 13 minutes. 14 minutes here for Jarvis Thornton, which obviously is a blow. We've given him a 3-year deal. He's obviously had injury problems in the past. That is a concern for me. But, I think, the goal from Callum Slattery obviously was extremely lucky. It came off his arse, for fuck's sake. The bloke scored with his arse. But the closing down from Slattery, the work rate from him obviously got him that goal, and I think that's the thing that we need to focus on here from that little opening period of the game was the work rate from Callum Slattery, because he was running here, there and everywhere. He was an absolute mad lad. And obviously we saw little parts of that. That's kind of what Henrik wants to play like. He wants to have players press. He wants to have high pressing players. He wants to have fit players. But we didn't have the first half all our way. So let's just take a look here at the momentum graph. So we got the goal there, right? Big piece of momentum here from Leyton Orient up on about the 15th, 16th to 17th minute. That was really where I was starting to get a bit worried, to be honest. They had a few chances, and then we went against the run of play, and we ended up getting that goal, which obviously was lucky, but it came at a time for us where it broke up the momentum a little bit. We then took charge of the game for a couple minutes until inevitably the goal happened for Leyton Orient. Now, I just want to talk about this. Sam Allison, you are a disgrace. Okay, the amount of times we've had this bloke as our referee, and he's cost us points by stupid decisions, is an absolute joke. Now, I said this over on a clip on TikTok literally earlier at half time, and you can sort of understand him not getting a red card out for with Carbia that elbowed Sil Svinkels in the head. You can sort of understand that because from a certain point of view, maybe he didn't see the elbow, he wasn't 100% sure. That's okay, you can accept that, right? But to then give an uncontested drop ball at the edge of the box was an absolute disgrace. And I'm not just pinning it all on Sam Allison. I think part of it was Liam Palmer not coming to close him down. It was uncontested. They just dropped the ball, whipped it in, and then the defending from it was shambolic. Obviously, Sil Svinkels was on the sidelines because he'd been took off because he had an head injury. Looks like a broken nose. And then they ended up getting in and scoring. Now, I want to just touch on Sil Svinkels in that first half. Oh, shit, in that first half. I thought the defence as a whole was poor. I thought Sil Svinkels played poor. Only in the first half, though. And to be honest, I think part of the reason why that happened was because Leyton Orient was just constantly at us. After this goal, you can see with the momentum graph. You see this; it was just constant. Sure, we had a little go here in the 32nd to 35th minute, but then after that, again, it was just constant, pretty much up until half time. And of course, the graphs aren't everything. I totally understand that. So let's just take a look at the stats in terms of the first half, because they don't read well at all. We had 4 shots, 1 on target, right? I don't know if Callum Slattery's goal even counts as a shot because it came off his arse. So, I don't know. But, we had 1 big chance. I can't even remember that even happening. But I know Leyton Orient, they hit the post as well. So, they obviously had that opportunity to go ahead. They had multiple opportunities, to be fair, in that first half where they cut us open like a knife through butter. We got caught too far up the pitch, and we saw it against Bolton. There were 3 or 4 opportunities where Bolton could have scored. There was the Sam Dalby one early on, and then I think Thierry Gale had one as well when Bolton got forward and cut it back. And the same was happening here, and for some reason we just constantly kept getting overloaded 2v1 on Liam Palmer's side every single time, causing us so many problems. Now, I'm not going to sit here and slate Liam Palmer because I think he's been a good servant for the club. I know a lot of fans are a bit iffy on him, but I think he's been a really good servant for the club, and I think he'll be able to do a job in League One. But today weren't one of his finest games, and he did really struggle, to be fair. Now, moving on to, looking at some more stats, I thought we didn't really create anything in that first half. We couldn't get anything going. There was no apparent game plan. The game plan was pathetic in that first half. We was lumping it long to a 17-year-old Harry Gray for the 45 minutes. And again, I don't want to be too negative because, again, we've come away with the 3 points, but I think we can be subjective here and look at the second half performance and say it was much better, but the first half performance were unacceptable. That was almost as bad as, that was like Oldham levels of unacceptable, that first half. And it was one that I was not happy about at half time. I was really, really angry, and I can only imagine what went on in that dressing room, because they should have got a rocket up their arse, and I think they did, because they came out second half and the improvement in the stats was unbelievable. Again, we started really, really slow. In the second half. Let's just take a look at the momentum graph again quickly. So we started here quite well, and then we started really slow here. There was just this little momentum slip, and Leyton Orient took charge of the game for 10-15 minute period. And then obviously we go ahead and get the penalty goal with Jamal Lowe. But I just want to point something out. Morris got brought on. I think it was left back. Let's take a look. James Morris here, 61st minute. Somto Boniface went off, James Morris came on. That changed the game for Wednesday in the favour, because Boniface were having a really good game, was dealing with us down that side every single time. You see here, 61st minute substitution. From then on, James Morris was getting absolutely bombarded. Not just James Morris, but Leyton Orient was really struggling. Jamal Lowe got a goal disallowed. I think it was around this point here. He then missed an opportunity and then got the penalty and scored it. I think he probably will be quite good for us at this level, to be honest. I think Championship probably is a level above for him at this point in his career, but there's no reason why the bloke won't be good for us in League One. Again, would I like to see him starting every game? Probably not. But if he's scoring goals and he's creating chances for us, then I'm relatively happy. But yeah, I don't know if there's a way to look at this, but you see our XG there. I'm not a massive, huge fan of XG, right? But 2.7 of that, 1.3 of that XG was inside this 15 minutes here. So Morris eventually got subbed. Let's take a look at that. So Morris came on in the 61st minute. Morris then got took off in the 73rd. So then 12 minutes. Let's just take a look again quickly. So 61st, then got brought off in the 73rd, and then you look at that. As soon as Morris got brought off, the momentum swung again. So obviously Morris was their weak link. He was probably, that change from Richie Wellens probably did change the game in Wednesday's favour. We did have another huge opportunity with Barry Bannon. He rounded the goalkeeper and somehow missed an open net. Don't know how that happened, but he did. There's so many different things we can pick out from it. But overall, I think second half he was really good. Sils Winkels recovered in the second half. I thought he was really, really good. Otugbayo, the defence, I will comment on the defence quickly. Still really shaky, and it does concern me. I think we will concede goals until Gabby Otugbayo's replaced and brought in like Ricardo Santos, who I know can be shaky and was shaky at Bolton. But until we get an experienced head like Liam Cooper or even Dishon Bernard back into that starting 11, back into that defence, I think we'll be looking at quite a shaky back line. I thought Joe Lumley played pretty well as well. So overall, second half we got the 3 points, and that is what I'm happy about. Like I said, second half it was significantly better. The one thing I do want to talk about quickly is the Jan Valery situation. I was expecting Jan Valery. I don't know why it's saying we're lined up in a 3. We didn't. It was definitely 4-2-3-1. We might have moved back into this shape in the second half, because I think that's what I'm still on actually. But it was definitely a 4-2-3-1. I saw us pressing in a 4-4-2. But yeah, Palmer. I was shocked to see him start. Someone called it in my comments, and to be honest, I was surprised. I thought Jan Valery would start, but then there's been a lot of rumours about him picking up a knock against Bolton. I think he did limp at some point against Bolton, so I don't know if that is something to do with it. I suppose Henrik Pedersen will come out soon and talk about that. I'm hoping it's not a case that he wants to leave and he just doesn't want to play, because that'd be really disappointing for me personally. I wouldn't like to see that. You don't like to see that at your football club. But yeah, let me know what you think anyway in terms of the result, in terms of the performance. Yeah, as you can see, I'm a new channel, so if you can please leave a like and subscribe, and if you'd like to see some tactical analysis in the next coming days of this game, let me know and I can get that done for you. But yeah, leave a like for me, please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.